now with the starters. First, the UST Growling Tigers. At forward, number 5, Reggie Boy Basidas. Power forward, number 16, Justin Arana. Center, number 15, Chibi Maundo. Point guard, number 8, Oliver de Guzman. And the off guard, number 7, Jordan Santa Ana. Head coach of the Growling Tigers, Boy Sablan. And now the starting five of this season's hosts, the FEU Tamaros. Off guard, number 4, Jojo Trinidad. Point guard, number 5, Axel Inigo.
You see the starters on the floor. Kilalanin natin ang unang 10 magbibida para sa UST and FEU. No surprises on the FEU side of things. They will have Inigo Trinidad, Orizu, Escoto, and Denison, who's been the breakout guy para dito sa FEU. Sa kabilang banda naman ng the white shirts, Bea, no Marvin Lee, no Steve Acomo in the starting lineup for Coach Boy Sablan.
That's right, a little bit of a change here in the starting five for UST. For FEU, on the other hand, Axel Inigo finally coming back from the recent game that they had. He wasn't able to play due to the flu. So normal starting five here for FEU. Let's see, maybe the UST would like to run the game even faster due to Acomo not being there.
You see referees Avis, Orpilla, and De La Cruz. They're ready to officiate this game. FEU will have first possession. They're in their dark greens. Escoto. They're looking inside of Prince Orizu, who's got that advantage underneath. Great kick out there by Axel to the corner. Trinidad will not knock it down, and that's something we're going to be able to expect without the Steve Acomo out there to match up. Prince Orizu will have all the real estate, but a little careless. Konting igil para kay Prince. He picks up a foul.
You know, Nico, I was able to talk to Coach O prior to the game, and I was asking him their game plan. So far, what they need to do here is to be able to first contain the fast break points of UST. Currently, they're number 1 in fast break points in the league. And secondly, they want to prevent the penetration of UST. They've been attacking the rim relentlessly so far in their previous games.
And, you know, as much as there isn't a Marvin Lee, there isn't a Steve Acomo in the first 5 para sa UST. You talked about fast break points, you talked about penetration. You say those two stats, and the two names that come to mind are Reggie Boy Basibas and Jordan Santa Ana, both of whom came off the bench para sa UST, usually come off the bench. Coach Boy Sablan opting to start them early, going to his strengths. If you're 0-3, you're really going to try anything. Santa Ana, step back jumper is up and short, barely grazed the rim.
And speaking of Jordan's Santa Ana, there we see a nice-looking jumper, nice-looking layup rather from Denison.
It's a Milo Nutrient drive with a quarter. Go ahead.
Speaking of Jordan Santa Ana and Basibas, they have to be wary of their fouls. They fouled out during the crucial minutes in their last game, which I think contributed to their loss as well versus NU.
Arana with a miss on the jumper. Offensive rebound para dito kay Basibas. That's a second traveling call on Reggie Boy to start off this ball game. Chance for us to go to his side of things with Miss Tony Moreno. Tony, go ahead.
Nico and Bea, relentless. This is what the UST Growling Tigers are dubbed as. And during the half of the first round, in spite of UST's 0-3 standing, head coach Boy Sablan says that the team has a fighting heart and that they are proving this with every game that passes. Unlike last season, in which the Tigers were unable to catch up the point deficits, Coach Boy notes that the team is able to fight back and that the leads have become more manageable. Going head-to-head with the more experienced Tamaraws, Coach Boy is banking on the resilient nature of the Tigers and their trust in one another. Still gunning for the first win of the season, Coach Boy echoes what the other coaches have said about the Tigers. You cannot take UST lightly. Nico and Bea?
Thanks a lot, Tony. We'll hear more from you in a few moments. There is a resiliency. There is, you know, Tony is right on the money there as we check out this McFreeze instant replay. There's a certain no-quit attitude about this UST squad that we've seen in the first 3 games that, you know, really speaks to maybe the character that, you know, this squad is bringing into season 80.
That's right. I think Coach Boy Sablan was able to create that kind of culture this season, and that's good considering that the UAAP previews about UST were not really looking so good, but so far they've proven that they're much more aggressive team, a relentless team attacking the rim all the time.
Well, there's a nothing to lose attitude because,
That's
as
right.
you mentioned, Bea, coming into the season, hindi talaga ganun kataas yung expectations for UST. They're 0-3 so far. Eventually, that's going to catch up with your team if they're not mentally strong. But Coach Boy banking on having more of that relentlessness, that mental toughness from his boys. This is ball game as Paudo misses a gimme. Basibas, offensive rebound, had that one stripped away. 3 turnovers for Reggie Boy. He has the lone UST basket, however. We're still tied at 2 in a low-scoring affair. Dennison gets away.
Nice drive there by Ron Dennison.
This is Yakisobra move.
A slow-paced game so far. This would be favoring FEU since UST likes to run.
Santa Ana with a twist. Can't get that one to drop. Coach Olsen yelling at his boys to keep it going, pick up that pace. Trinidad has a speed advantage on GP, had to float that one up, float it high to get it over Paudo. De Guzman to GP, he'll spin, he'll leave the ball behind. Guess who's on the other side? Axel Inigo all alone. Touchdown FEU, a C2 cool and clean fast break.
Now these two teams, we expect actually a very fast-paced game given that these two teams love to run. So hopefully towards the end of the first quarter, we can expect the pace of the game to increase.
De Guzman over to Justin. Arana, great job there by Escoto trying to keep a body on him, but the length of Arana able to get it up and over against the glass. Escoto to the middle, picked up his dribble. Ball is with Joe. Paudo will be whistled for a foul on Orizu. Let's go to the FEU side of things. Cindy Crespo has a report for us. Cindy, go ahead.
Nico and Bea, several FEU Tamaraws have been feeling under the weather since last week, and Axel Inigo missed the game against the Ateneo Blue Eagles last Sunday. But now that he has recovered from flu and that he is now ready to step on court again, he shared to me that he felt disappointed for not being able to help his team and that things could have been different if they were complete. Coach Olsen, on the other hand, said that they don't have control over hurdles such as this, but luckily that they are complete today. And you know what, Nico and Bea, there's a saying that what doesn't break you makes you stronger, right?
Well, I've heard that saying before, although what Coach Olsen might feel is it might not have broken his point guard, but he would still much rather have him on the floor. Thank you very much, Sydney. We'll hear more from you in a little bit. There's a certain comfort knowing that all your guys are complete, especially if it's your lead point guard.
That's right, Axel Inigo providing the stability for FEU, but it provided also Jasper Parker the opportunity to start in the last game, a standout from Southwestern University. We know that years will eventually be the main point guard, showing flashes of brilliance in the last game.
Reggie Boy is at the line, and Pasibas will get UST up to 5. They trail FEU by 1 with another free throw to go. Kumurap na itong si Coach Boy Sablan, putting in Steve Acomo at the 6:11 mark of the first period. Acomo is also someone who's had to watch his foul situation a little bit. You know, that's not unusual, especially for imports playing in their first season in the UAAP. We've seen that time and time again. Adjusting to the calls, adjusting to the physicality and the attention that they get as Inigo gets away, but it's erased by Acomo. And Santa Ana.
And sportsman-like foul there on Ron Dennison, holding on to the shorts of Gordon Santa Ana in that pass.
Which is interesting because Santa Ana would have certainly gotten called for a travel.
That's true.
Because you can't pick up the ball with 2 hands mid-stride, toss it forward, unless you're playing barangay ball. And even then, you might still get whistled for it, which might have been bad timing for Dennison. Look at this here. Legally, Santa Ana can't do that. Pero, you're right. Dennison had a hand on the short, so it was a bang-back call. Nauna, ipito yung, I think that's an advantage foul that they whistle.
Could have gone both ways, pero yung nakita nga ng referee is them holding on to the waist of Gordon Santa.
Ana's second free throw will be up and through.
And speaking of Jordan Santa Ana, he's a rookie on paper, but then actually he's a transferee from UP. I love his relentlessness. He doesn't really shoot from the outside. He's a great passer. He loves to feed his teammates, but at the same time, when he gets that driving lane, he doesn't think twice. He really attacks the rim aggressively.
You know, Jordan Santa Ana, and he's doing all of this in the effectivity without really having a wealth of shooters to pass to.
That's right.
You can only imagine what it would be like if USC could get one or two guys to consistently hit from the outside and how much that would open the floor more for penetrations for Santa Ana. Arana will miss. Parker bobbled the dribble but able to get it to Trinidad. Here's Dennison underneath. Great pass. Acomo with a challenge. That still won't go. And it will go over to the UST side of things as Kevin Iboña is unable to get the 2 points.
And speaking of from your point about UST not really being a good shooting team, they don't really have a natural shooter so far in their lineup. So hopefully they'll be able to be wary about that because the teams that they'll be going up against will be clogging the defense in the paint.
Acomo underneath, using his strength, overshot that one. It'll bounce back over to Steve. Shot clock did not reset. Does he know? Does not look like it. And the clock will expire on the Growling Tigers as Hubert Cani will check into FEU. Just in time for this timeout. We'll be back with more.
Hey, tulong tayo sa rebounds, ha? Rebounds, ha? Ilan na sila, coach? Four offensive rebounds. Sinabi na natin yun, ha? Sinabi na natin, okay? Kanina bola, coach? Atin, coach. Atin. Sa contain, ha? Okay. Patuloy lang magpa-first 24, coach. Walang agad sa face. Hey, pag nag-wing ball screen tayo, di ba nagpo-force sila push sideline? Change your angle. Di ba nung change ng angle ni Richard, hinatak ng konti ni Axel, libre siya. Okay? Alright? Okay, let's run salute. Salute, this side. Salute, this side. So, dito si Richard.
We mentioned earlier, Bea, that USC not your usual 0-3 team. Well, FEU definitely not your usual 1-2 team. The reason why? They've got depth, especially at that guard spot. So Wendell Comboy timely against Ateneo almost brought them back. Gave them a lot of momentum towards there in the end.
I think his 3-point field goal shots that he made during the game were crucial for them to keep in striking distance against Ateneo.
And Bea, against De La Salle, in the end of that ball game, in what looked like it was going to be a short blowout, it was also conversions by Comboy and his ability to spread the floor that gave FEU a fighting chance in that one. As Escoto throws it away. Here comes the Guzman. All lift to the basket, floater up, won't go. It will stay with UST though. They'll get a fresh 24 for their trouble.
And true to their game plan of UST, once they get that rebound, they push the floor, they push the ball down for a possibility for a fast break point.
Arvin Tolentino, the aforementioned Arvin Tolentino, is on the floor. Puffin joins him. Hubert Cani joins him, all from the bench, together with Parker, as you mentioned earlier.
Straight shot there by Basibas.
Great look. Iboña has to kick it out. Arvin will wind that up for three. Miss it short. Iboña with a big offensive rebound. Gets a combo in the air. And that fake looked a little too good. A little extra step.
So far, still no Marvin Lee for UST, but the great thing about this is that you see the other players stepping up. So far, it's Reggie Boy Basibas with already 4 points in the game, leading actually 1 point against FEU so far.
And there are no indications, no reports so far. I'm sure Tony can confirm for us later on in the ball game. Marvin Lee maybe feeling something, maybe a little bit injured or under the weather. We haven't gotten any indication of that. It just seems like that Tiger's in the doghouse. And, I'm not sure, as, we finally see him try to enter this game with 3:49 left. I'm not sure you were a star for UP, but I'm not sure if you had a lot of experience being in the doghouse and sitting on the bench. That's my field of expertise. So the question now for Marvin is, kadalasan, he's a starter, and he's been a starter, pretty much the first 3 games, had heavy minutes, especially in the first half of the first 3 games. How will he respond coming off the bench?
Well, he can provide that offensive firepower for UST. He knows that he's the mark man even though he comes off the bench. So let's see what he's able to do.
He fires off a rocket and it's catch.
And on point, making that 3.
It's a great taste, great 3. Usually we jinx it. When we talk about a player's abilities to score right as they're attempting to score, usually it goes the other way around. But in this case, hey, you're welcome, Marvin Lee.
At bumabawi talaga siya, Nico, because in his last game versus NU, na-check na siya. Like I said, he's a mark man for UST, so expect that the defense will be focused on him. Last game, he only had 4 points, and right when he entered in this game, wala pang 30 seconds, nakashoot na siya ng 3-point shot.
He only has to shoot 4 steps behind the basket with a hand in his face and the shot clock winding down. It seems that, that's going to be effective for him as Iboña is at the line for bonus free throw. He misses it though. There's an unsportsmanlike foul whistled on Steve Macomo. It's going to be the first on Steve.
Imagine, Nico, how dominant UST could be if they're able to get a balanced scoring output from all Basibas, Santa Ana, and also Marvin Lee. So far, there are flashes of brilliance and their scoring haven't been on point for all of them across in one game.
Ayaw lang magsabay-sabay. You look at also Steve Macomo, and he looks like he's someone who can give you more than 10 points per game. That's what USC is trying to figure out. They're in good shape though in this one. Up against FEU, they force a stop, 10-6, and this FEU offense has struggled to say the least here in this early quarter. He will go downstairs. Acomo against Iboña. Aside out to Jordan. Santa Ana working against a double. Joko will let that one fly. It will be too strong. Acomo with an offensive rebound, and height is might. He will lay that one in, and Coach Olsen Racela will have no more. It's a Yamaha big move for Steve Acomo. It's a quick timeout for FEU.
Dito straight pa lang tayo pag bumaba. Straight.
Okay.
Pag gumigilid na, i-red mo na.
I-push mo na, dahan-dahan. Sa harap. Pagpuntahin mo sa kaliwa. Pagpuntahin mo sa kanan. Pero wag sa gitna. Kailangan dito sila pumunta. Okay? Naintindihan?
Pag gumita naman, white tayo pag boss.
Okay?
Sa pasa.
White and yellow. Kanina, nasa 3 points. Baka tumira. Labas. Yellow. Okay, now. Ginagad sa weak side. Again, let's execute. Let's execute the fight. Okay.
Eh,
Fight.
naman, Steve, ha?
Christian, wag mong madaliin.
Sorry na, tara.
Patamaan mo yung pick mo. Steve. Steve, get out here, ha? Somewhere here. So that you have more space. Ha? Labas ng tao. Okay?
Hindi na ako dadaan dito pag dito binigay.
Oo.
Sumundot sa likod eh.
Correct. Wag na. Stay ka lang. Dito kayo magpalit. Screen si Marvin. Screen away siya, ha? Now, pag tama ng pick, Steve, Christian, huwag mo madaliin. Tumingin ka muna. Kung gusto mo mag-one dribble, tsaka mo ibigay. Steve, ha? Dahan lang. Execute! Execute!
Steve Acomo on your screens for the last basket for UST. It was a contested call earlier. As Acomo with a little bit of a push off there against Iboña. Iboña sold it well. Back to live action. Off the timeout, Kani with a jumper that will not drop. Coach also with a slight shake of the head. Not sure that's what he grew up in the timeout. Garcia will dribble. Over to Santa Ana. He'll take a contested jumper. That's ringless, but not the good kind as Jordan stays on the floor. Parker. Over to Kani. Kicks it back out. Arvin goes against the three. Will drive inside, and Tolentino will be fouled. He'll troop to the line for two.
Good drive there by Arvin Tolentino. We all know that he can shoot from the outside range. That's why Steve Okomo had to close out long and allowing him to drive hard to the basket and fish for that foul.
There's a certain threshold of patience. You see that, especially at the college level. First quarters, especially if it's a slow-paced game like this, you've only scored 6 points, pero hindi naman ganun kalayo, hindi ka naman natatambakan. We're talking about FEU, UST still within striking distance. We take a look and we greet a happy birthday to FEU Athletic Director Mark Molina. But what is FEU's struggle so far here? Why is the offense not flowing as well as they'd like?
I think a resounding stat so far here, USD having 16 rebounds already as compared to the only 6 of FEU. So I know that aside from Prince Arizo, they're a lot smaller team than USD, so they have to have a better job boxing out their defenders.
That's interesting to note, especially because Steve Okomo did not start this ball game. Lee from the baseline, he'll leave that one short. And he will look ahead. Escalambre, fresh from the bench, will try to check Hubert. Oh, what a crossover. Off in corner, jump shot up and through.
Nice assist there by Hubert Canny.
Their great taste, great three. Garcia in a crowd. Tolentino comes away with it. Arvin looks up, sees only white shirts. Here's Parker, steps into a three-pointer, off to the right. Arvin trying to tap that one over to himself. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with FEU.
FEU a little bit more aggressive in the last 2 possessions. Now down 1 against USD.
McFree's instant replay. See the fight for the ball there. We mentioned kanina ba that it is Mark Molina's birthday. FEU has previously, since during Mark's stint as FEU Athletic Director, they've played twice before on his birthday. They're 1-1. So it
could go either way today.
really holds no bearing as to this game. It was just an interesting stat brought to us by the stat father, Paul Bucanes. Parker goes right. Arvin lets that one fly, leaves it short. And Parker with another serving. This is going to be FEU's 3rd try on this possession. Minute 23 left. Annie with 7 to shoot. Back to Tolentino they go. Arvin off the spin. Drops it off to Prince. That's going to be a walk on Orizu.
A little too tight there, the shaded area. It was a too tight of a pass for Arvin Tolentino off to Arizu, leading to the turnover.
12-11 the score as FEU inching closer here. Take a look at the turnover story, and that has been the story of the season para dito sa UST especially. They've been trying to trim those giveaways down as Steve Okomo. Jab step, face up, jumper, Milo Nutriep, galing move of the quarter. Under a minute to play. Hubert against Carlos. And he got him again with a crossover. Jumper up, a little too strong. Here comes Marvin Lee off the strip. Escalambre will use the Okomo screen. It's back out to Carlos. 7 seconds left. Where's UST going with this? Step back jumper up. Escalambre can't knock it down.
Another offensive rebound for UST.
Okomo out to Lee. He will not be shy. Leaves that one short. And Okomo gets the final serving for UST. 5-second differential game and shot with 8 on the 24. Garcia can't stuff it. Offensive rebound stories 9-3 with UST tripling up. Make that 10-3 as they add the quarter with another putback. A chippy twisters move. So they talked about being relentless and being resilient. They've shown it on the offensive glass so far as the UST Growling Tigers will carry over a 5-point advantage into the second period. 16-11 FEU trails. Big Ben Mbala at the games early, getting ready to suit up against UP later on as he and his De La Salle Green Archers put their undefeated record on the line. One of those wins came at the expense of the FEU Tamaraws, who are trailing UST 16-11 in Bea. What a display we've seen from UST attacking the offensive glass.
So far in that last possession in the first quarter, we saw 3 offensive rebounds by UST. That's too much if you want to be able to get into the game back for FEU.
Second chance points so far, wildly in favor of UST as well.
That's right, 9-0, because for the offensive rebounds for UST, they've gotten 10 as compared to the only 4 of FEU. So they've got to do a better job for FEU in boxing out.
Here's Comboy making his first appearance in this one. Parker against Lee. Lee got dropped for a moment. Parker a little strong on the floater. Offensive rebound, offensive putback para kay Parker, wala pa din.
They've gotten their touches, just not being able to connect with their shots.
Lee calls out horns, has Parker in his grill. Lee trying to split the defense. Ball is live as Escoto gathers. Parker, created the contact. Well, they're going to call a charge on Parker. He can't believe it. Thought he had the end one. See it on the McPhee's instant replay.
See here how his elbow
The NBA
went
just
towards-
released a statement saying that in the coming season they'll be a little stricter when it comes to offensive players creating the contact to get free throws, and that's exactly what Parker did there.
initiated the contact. Yes, that's right.
Him and Marvin Lee still talking about it. They gave each other a friendly tap, and Coach Olsen has a question about that call. Thought that it should have gone Parker's way. But what is done, and UST will now have possession. Escalambre, Makasayat, Garcia, and Nakomo, the 5 for the Growling Tigers. Christian, over to Joko. Over to Steve. Short little 12-footer, won't go. Axel back on the floor para dito sa FEU. Goes left, Escoto. Trying to put Steve on skates. No go. They give it back out to the point guard. Inigo left open for a moment. That one wide left.
Nice defense is played by UST, sticking to their man so far here in this game.
There's not a lot of fluidity in that FEU half-court set. Which is not to say that the UST half-court set is the most fluid offense in the UAAP. It's just that all those multiple opportunities, as you see Escalambre knock down a straightaway, great taste, great 3.
That's right, UST thrives on the break, on transition, but so far, because of their offensive rebounds, their second chance points have been able to make them lead so far in this game.
Coffin with another miss para dito sa FEU. They get themselves a second serving. 9 seconds to shoot. Coffin to the corner. Escoto trying to put it on the floor, almost lost it. Has to pull up for a jumper. And that's an ill-advised foul para dito kay Steve Acomo. He will bail out FEU and pick up his second personal.
That's right, it's really a bailout call for FEU.
Manulife 110% heart and hustle play. Check out the attempt there by Axel Inigo to keep the ball live. It was recovered by Tuffin.
So far in that instance with Escoto, just one-on-one moves. You wouldn't want that for FE. You want to keep the ball moving, to keep the defense moving as well for UST.
RJ Ramirez will check in para sa FEU. Lipat tayo sa UST side. Let's hear from Tony Moreno. Tony, go ahead.
Nico and Bea closing the first quarter with a lead. The tide seemed to be turning in favor of the Tigers. In the dugout, Coach Boy told the boys that they should not let the Tamaraws take 3-point shots. He told them that it was the turnovers that cost them their past 3 games and that they should just execute and not rush the game. With winning stats, less turnovers, and a stronger defense, the hopes are high for the Tigers in the battle of España versus Moraita. Nico?
Thanks a lot, Tony. 20-11 is the score. Oh, sorry, make that 19-12. It was FEU. They have one added to their score. 7-point advantage para dito sa UST. Arana sets a screen on Marvin. He hands it off. Escalambre, the designated shooter. He's going to be whistled for a personal. Sorry, for a travel. That's another turnover para dito sa UST.
Actually, for the UST Growling Tigers, in their last game, they had a lot of unforced turnovers, and one of them was that a lot of traveling errors called for the UST Growling Tigers.
Now, they've got 3 in this game. We still have 7 or 10 to play. Ramirez over to Comboy. Wendell uses the screen. Oh, Comboy got away. Good challenge though by Makasay. Changed the shot. Here comes UST on the run. FEU quick to get back. Lee to Escalambre for 3. That's cash. +1. PS bankable. Assist of the game. Send and receive payments ahora mismo with PS Bank Mobile.
Escalambre proving that he can shoot from beyond the arc. That's his second 3 so far in the game.
Well, got called for travel when he tried to do something a little outside of his specialty list. Sabi niya, you know what, my kitchen does something well. Let me cook you up something good. Sydney Crespo from FEU has a report for us. Sydney, go ahead.
Intensity, energy, and effort. These are the things that Coach Olsen wants to see from his boys this time. Offensive rebound is all about effort, ika nga ni Coach Olsen. Coach Olsen said in the huddle that they started with a good defense, but he just wants the boys to stay on the ground and help each other with getting the rebound. Nico and Bea.
Thanks a lot, Sydney. 22-12. UST's opened up a double-digit advantage. Tuffin has to save that one. They have 10 to shoot. Tuffin against Arana has a speed advantage. Tuffin over to RJ. Ramirez, his jumper is up and short. Ball is loose, still on the floor. It's live. Ramirez gets it over to Orizu, and Prince can't get it with his left hand.
Prince Orizu still scoreless here in the game. Still trying to find his first shot.
FEU's had their looks. Can't get baskets to drop. Here's Zach Huang. He's got the size advantage on Inigo, and that's travel number 4. Is that a 3-second violation? Either way, it's going FEU's way.
Justin Arana. Arvin Tolentino for Kenneth Crawford.
Second quarter field goal story so far. Not pretty if you're a Tamaraw fan.
That's right. 0 out of 9 so far for FEU. So they're stuck under the rock so far. As for UST, 2 out of 4. That's really the story of the second quarter. Up 10 points for UST.
Zach Mawungkume will enter the ballgame para dito sa UST. Ramirez with the handle. Ramirez will drive, take it strong. He fetches a foul, and it's 2 points on the way para dito sa FEU, or 2 free throws at least.
FEU will need to find who player can step up and provide that offensive firepower for FEU to cut the lead down, maybe into single digits coming into the halftime.
This is slightly unfamiliar territory para dito sa UST. They've played in games, as we said, all 3 of those losses, all fairly competitive. They were nip-and-tuck affairs. If ever, they were affairs, there were games where they were maybe trailing by a few points, a jam away always, but now they're leading in double digits.
And we were talking in the pre-game that their first assignments were already against Ateneo and LaSalle. So now that that's done, they need to be able to capitalize against UST and win this game.
Axel over to Comboy. Comboy lost control of the handle. It lands in Inigo's hands though, and that's another travel off the triple threat.
A lot of traveling violations so far called in this game, Nico. So they have to make sure that their feet are planted on the floor before they take that first step.
In all fairness though, that has been a point of emphasis in the UAAP. I've covered at the professional level. You barely see those called, and it's not because the triple threat, the exit from the triple threat at the pro level is immaculate. It's just
the basics are very important here in the collegiate level.
They pay a little bit more attention to it here, and they kind of turn a blind eye over when you go to the pros and you start getting paid to ball. Denison will swing it over to Tolentino. Arvin against GP. Tolentino with a tough shot. Arvin Tolentino with a chippy twisters move gets FEU to within 7, and it is UST who will whistle for time.
Sak. Ikaw. Now. Wala kang gagawin, Sak, ha? Wala kang gagawin kung hindi ataking mo to.
Buka kami.
Bumuka kayo pag gawak ng
Why
bike.
try and put Jordan can drive off the middle? Is that for the press break or is this for
Five.
Yeah, let Jordan drive off the middle.
No, wait. I want Sak. I understand? Stay here. Give the ball to Sak. Now, Sak.
Kaya mo yan, Zach. Kaya mo yan.
Pag wala. Pag wala. Joko. Dito ka, Joko. Sa kaliwa mo dalhin, ha? Yung kaliwa mo, dito ka pala. Joko, ikaw dito. Oo, sa kaliwa. Ikaw, pag wala, bigyan mo dito. Si Joko nakaabang. Pag wala na, dito nakaabang si Jimmy. Ha?
Taking a look at Marvin Lee, floor leader para dito sa UST, and it is well documented around España how it was not his day going up against National University.
A hot start for Marvin Lee to start the first 2 games of the season. So definitely he's a marked man. And na-check nga siya nung huling game niya. But here so far, a steady game with already 3 points and 2 assists to his name.
Time now for a quick timeout as UST turns it over. We'll be back with more.
Now, just a scary scene at Yankee Stadium. We found out a child was hit by a foul ball. We want to get right to News 4's John Chandler in the newsroom with what we know right now, John.
Well, Natalie, it really is a horrible scene at the stadium, one that's becoming all too familiar around baseball. A young fan injured by a foul ball, and this is almost immediately renewing calls for the Yankees to re-explore extending their safety netting. This is what happened in the 5th inning today. Todd Frazier sharply fouls a ball into the stands along the third base line, and the child hit by the ball as the stadium falls silent. Now, almost immediately after he hit it, Frazier crouching down in anguish, his eyes never straying from the sight of the young injured fan. Cameras briefly showed the scene, fans rushing to help. On base there, Matt Holliday appears to wipe away tears, obviously distraught by this. The young fan carried out of the stadium, said to be responsive. The game was delayed for several minutes. Fans and players applauding in support. Remember, a child was hit by a piece of broken bat at Yankee Stadium back in May. And then in August, after a foul ball hit a fan, the Yankees said they were seriously exploring extending safety netting. Well, the Mets are among a handful of teams in baseball that have already done so. Now, here for some perspective, the changes that we showed you at Citi Field back in July, the netting extending beyond the dugouts and all the way down the left and right field lines for a good portion of it. Major League Baseball mandating that netting be extended to at least each dugout before last season. The Mets went far beyond that. So far, the Yankees have resisted a move like the Mets made this year. We have reached out to the Yankees for comment. We have not yet heard back. There is no update as well on that child's condition. Obviously, everybody praying that that child is okay. The Yankees right now leading the Twins 11-3 in the 7th inning.
There are some very, very interested FEU officials there. Right below them, a kid who owns a walrus, that's Noah West. His UP Fighting Maroons will take on De La Salle in a moment as Prince Orizu throws down a hammer. RCBC Savings Bank nakakabilib play, and the FEU has been waiting for something, anything from Prince Orizu in this ball game.
Hopefully to start a mini run for FEU with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Obukume will drive. Zach with a floater. That will drop in right over the outstretched hands of Prince. It is a Milo Nutrient drive of the quarter. Comboy to Arvin. Tolentino will let it fly. Off to the right. Orizu taps it out. It's controlled. Comboy behind his back to Orizu. For a bruise, a deuce, a 3-point play opportunity. It is Anisin Yakisobrang move.
2 straight assists from Wendell Comboy and 2 straight made baskets from Prince Orizu to cut the lead down to 5 and possibly more. So this run for FEU going very
We mentioned that, maybe it was something that sparked a little something in Prince. He's got 4 straight points on the last 2 trips para dito sa FEU. His role, his responsibilities, a little larger now. Especially as we mentioned before, FEU always had that 4 guy to go to, whether it was a Mac Bello or Raymar Jose. Now, that front court really going to be A lot of heavy lifting for Prince if they want to go far this season.
And now that Steve Acomo is not on the floor, they need to be able to utilize Prince Orisi down low.
Here's Zach. Over to the other Zach. That's Kumukume to Huang. Santa Ana. That drop pass a little bit telegraphed better now by Prince. As we take a look at the throwdown, two-handed flush. Dito kay Orizo. And then on the other end, he's got a mask on, but the peripheral vision is fine for Wendell Comboy. Undo, 15-footer. GP will knock that one through. And UST trying to put a pause to this FEU run with a Vivo perfect shot.
Nice looking jumper there by GP Faundo. And UST forcing a turnover there, a backing violation by Wendell Comboy.
26-20, 3:35 left. Comboy a little unhappy with himself with that turnover. Swang trying to work against that 1-2-2 zone ng FEU. Valentino with a pull down over to Denison. He's been quiet as well. Here's Comboy. Drops it off. Oh, and Wendell had a layup there.
A little tentative when he was handling the ball. That's right, Nico could have made that easy layup for a two.
RJ to trigger in. Wala na kay Wendell. Comboy drives baseline, gets it to the other side. Ramirez had time. Shot the three, left it short. Here comes Wang. Over to Faundo. Big man running the break on the floor. GP Faundo finishes on the open court with a Mitsubishi. Great play.
And you like how GP Faundo ran the floor down. He's a big man, but he was the first one down to create that fast break point for himself.
Valentino, the 1-foot fade. That will not drop, and they're going to whistle a loose ball foul here on Orizu. UST Bigs doing a good job despite not having a Como in there. And Orizu obviously with a height, heft, athleticism advantage. They're doing a good job getting position on him.
And after those 4 straight points by Prince Orizu, UST on the other hand having their own share of 4 points with that basket from GP Faundo.
Kumukume, Santa Ana, get over to GP. Back over to Olive. De Guzman will line up a triple. That one too strong. Back rimmed it. Orizu will have that one drop off, and it's with RJ. Ramirez navigating through traffic, finishing with the left hand. RJ with a Milo New trip. Galing move of the quarter.
Nice aggressive move there by Ramirez.
Here's Santa Ana going inside. Oh, met upstairs. There's going to be a foul, and Jordan Santa Ana will take 2 free throws. Who's down on the floor. He'll take a minute to catch a breath. Check it out on the McCree's instant replay.
Once he put his head down, he went all the way aggressive to the basket with that crossover left-handed.
28-22 as UST with a 6-point advantage. Jordan Santa Ana will shoot to the line. Take a look at Steve Acomo. Has not been the most productive of afternoons so far for him. But it's enough so far. Hindi pa siya masyadong kinakailangan ng UST. They have a 7-point advantage.
Exactly, and even without him, they've been dominating the glass so far, boxing out and getting those second chance points for UST.
Here's Parker. Kumukume on him. Parker drives left, gets to the middle, gets to the paint, turns. Little jumper, no go. Good attempt mula dito kay Parker. They can't get it to drop. FEU still has the live ball. There's going to be a foul on the floor, and Reggie Boy will be whistled for it. Emonia will shoot to the line for 2.
Talking about FEU, they've had their chances, they've had their touches, just really not being able to convert with their basket.
Emonia will try and take 2 free throws. Muffin. Check him back into the ballgame para dito sa Tamaraos. Emonia missed 2 from the stripe earlier, successful on the first try.
FEU catching up with the rebounds department in the first quarter. They were really out-rebounded by UST, but now in the offensive rebounds, they're now at 10 apiece with UST.
perfect from the stripe para kay Bonya on this trip. FEU staying within jamming distance. They're down by 5, 29 to 24.
Full court press.
Over to Basibas. Basibas with a little jumper, no goal. Second try, and that's another pair of second chance points para dito sa UST, care of Reggie Boy Basibas.
Just really love his aggressiveness.
Muffin. Oh, and this time it drops para sa FEU. Sila naman. May second chance points. Olive and Zach. UST small in the backcourt. A 1-2-2 zone ng FEU is still on. Oh, and Santa Ana will step on the stripe. It's going to be a backcourt violation para dito sa UST, and FEU will take over.
At least FEU was able to put down the lead down to 6 points already. It was already as much as 10 points midway through the second quarter.
Right on the line by a hair. 31 to 26. Here's Stuffit. He'll drive left. Will not drop. Here comes Basibas. This is where Reggie Boy likes to play. Gets it over to De Guzman. Side of the board. Denison. Still live ball. As Denison seemed like he was trying to corral that thing for a good 20 seconds.
UST really not giving up on that play. Could have been a jump ball, but no call by the ref.
41 seconds left in the first half rather. UST with a 5-point advantage. Faundo the trip to the line for 2. See, you take a look at it here. This is the part where Denison either maybe could have earned a jump ball or traveled or a myriad of other things, but ball stayed live, and UST got themselves a pair of free throws for it. 7-point advantage. Denison will line up a long one, and Denison will knock down a triple.
They really badly needed that, cutting the lead down to 4.
Some offense also from Denison, who's been a main source of production for FEU. Guzman to answer back. Knocks it down.
Hindi talaga nagpapatalo ang UST sa laro na ito. They're really aggressive, really wanting to win the game badly.
Denison, he'll drive, drops it off. Ebonya to beat the buzzer. And that will be much needed offense para dito sa FEU as they are able to, and the referees will review it, but for all intents and purposes, it looked good to us as you walk us through this, Bea.
Here you see Ron Denison driving to his strong right side and feeding.
That's Ebonya. That's close, but it looks good.
Looks good.
It looks like it's going to be good. I think the referees will maybe take one more look at it. But as we mentioned, with the UST coaches disputing it. Let's go to Ira Pablo, our UAAP insider. She's with Coach Boy Sablan.
Coach Boy, you take the lead in the first half. What is working for you in this quarter?
The players are just following the rules now. Some adjustments regarding turnover, although there are still some. Pero naka-adjust na kahit konti, and the defense is working for us.
All right, thank you, Coach. Balik sa inyo, Nico and Bea.
Thanks, Ira. There's definitely more than just a few things working para kay Coach Boy Sablan and his Growling Tigers. They lead by 5 at the end of the first 20, 36-31 over FEU. We'll have a loaded halftime break for you coming up right after this.
form of a TRO, which states, with a duration of 20 days, respondent UAAP is hereby restrained from implementing its latest age eligibility requirement against herein petitioner Robert Ruel Laksamana, Ricafort. The UAAP does not intend to defy any court or any of its processes, but this is without prejudice from pursuing our remedies available under the law. So that is the official statement of the UAAP with regard to the issues surrounding the TRO and the eligibility of Mr. Ricafort.
Again, if you're joining us, we're talking with UAAP Commissioner as well as UAAP Executive Director Rebo Sagisag. Com, in layman's terms, what does that mean, especially for this matchup that's about an hour or so away for Rob and for UP, and for a lot of people very interested. I'm sure the LaSallians and the rest of the league very interested as well. Is Ricafort going to see action in this game and also moving forward? And how similar or different it is from maybe the Matt Aquino case for Adams last year?
Well,
and you
here's
last
the
year,
thing.
sorry.
I am not certain whether he will be fielded or not. It's the coach's prerogative. The thing is, me as commissioner, I cannot and will not restrain him from playing. No, but they should be made aware, and they were made aware that they do so under, they assume the risk, no? Whether or not the court, how the court will eventually rule on the issue with finality. Because you see, this is only a temporary restraining order, and after 20 days, we don't know what's going to happen. Or even before that 20 days will lapse, some things may also happen. So they were well advised of the concomitant risks of fielding Mr. Ricafort. It's the team's option, actually. So we leave it up to them. No, I cannot, if they field them, I cannot and will not stop them from fielding in Mr. Ricafort.
So for the record, if Coach Bo Perasol feels that he needs Rob there on the floor, he will be suited, booted, ready to go. They run the risk, though, and when you say risk, come before I let you go, possible for feature maybe? Is that one of the possible repercussions if the court's TRO does not stand?
Well, you mentioned the case of Matt Aquino. No? I think the main difference in that case was that the TRO was it died a natural death, if I'm not mistaken. Therefore, all games that he played for the duration of the TRO was considered valid, and the results they stayed. No. In this case, I do not know. Again, we are consulting our lawyers, and I'm not saying it will be the case now, but should the TRO be found to be null and void, then we have to retroact, including this afternoon's game. It's a possible repercussion. Now, in the interest of transparency, that's why we're saying it right now, and we have already informed the UP that they're free to do what they want, but they should assume the risk of whatever the court will rule eventually.
It is a tricky touch-and-go situation. We appreciate you, as always, for being transparent and being available to us and all our viewers. Again, that's UAAP Executive Director Rebo Sagisag. Thank you very much. We'll see and, of course, hear more from him as we move on with the season. We'll take a break, be back with more of the half. UST and FEU resumes action in just a few moments.
since first quarter, they got 9 offensive rebound and 9 points of it. And then ngayong second half, ano sila, 11 of 11. So meaning, we already eliminate some, but we still need to push on and really helping the big guys for the rebound.
Thank you, Coach Eric. Balik sa inyo, Nico and Bea.
Now we're moments away from restarting the action. An interesting look here from both coaches as whatever it was they were looking for from their first fives in the first quarter, well, that's all out the window as they're going with lineups that have worked so far for them. Para sa FEU, it's been going small. They're going to go with Parker, Comboy, and Tennyson, 3 guards in the back for the Tamaraws with Escoto and Eponia, small 5 para dito sa FEU. Para naman dito sa UST, if etong si Coach Boy Sablan started the first quarter without both Lee and Nakomo, he's not running that risk. He's not rolling those dice at the start of the third. Both those guys are in there with Jordan Santa Ana, Justin Arana, and Reggie Boy Masibas.
Definitely the strongest 5 for UST on the floor. He'd want to start strong for the UST Growling Tigers to start the third quarter.
Coach Eric Gonzalez, before even the start of the third, I think got whistled for a warning for resentment to a call. Well, it must have been a retroactive call because it must have been something from the first half. Needless to say, it is something that the referees scorers table will take note of. Santa Ana over to Basibas. They will let him shoot that jumper, but Reggie Boy makes them pay.
Basibas showing his range. He can't just drive hard to the basket, but also can make those jumpers.
Comboy drives left. Receives it again. Wendell a foot away from the line. Cleans the rim in and out. Arana with a pull down for UST. He looks ahead. Here comes Basibas. Over to Santa Ana. Now back out to Marvin. Marvin will set things up. 9 on the shot clock. UST has to act quick here. They've been going side to side on this possession. Arana to Basibas. Shot clock expiring. Reggie Boy gets it off in time. Won't go in.
Great defense displayed there by FEU, shadowing their defenders all throughout the 24 seconds.
Couple of open looks there for FEU. They refuse to go early. Dennison underneath, behind his back. Eponia gets rid of it. 6 seconds to shoot. Dennison will line up a triple and that will not drop para dito sa FEU, although there's going to be a foul on Justin Arana on the box out. 3 personals on Justin Arana. Chance for us to go to the UST side of things with Tony Moreno. Tony, go ahead.
Nico and Bea, we've played a good 20 minutes. Let's keep it up for the next 20. This was what Coach Boy told the boys as they snacked on bananas during halftime. However, Coach Boy reminded the team not to get too comfortable and told them to watch their fouls as it could cost them their first win of the season. Just go hard and enjoy the game. This was Coach Boy's parting words in the dugout, and ika nga niya, walang dahilan para matalo tayo ngayon. Nico?
Thanks a lot, Tony. There's Boy Sablan. Pushing a sense of urgency with this team. If you're not urgent at the 0-3, then there's really no other point in the season where you could feel that sort of emergency.
And I think so far UST improving game on game. So far here only 11 turnovers. So if they're able to minimize their turnovers, we mentioned this at the start of the game, they have a higher percentage chance of winning the game.
That's a 3rd traveling violation on Reggie Boy Basibas. As we go to the FEU side, Sidney Crespo has more. Sidney, go ahead.
Nico and Bea, from the dugout, Jasper Parker urges his teammates to be quicker on their transition and take advantage of their speed. Coach Olsen strongly challenged the boys to do their part in attacking the board at sabi nga niya na hindi kayo mananalo ngayong araw kung magiging malamya kayo. Nico and Bea?
That's not a word usually thrown around when it comes to FEU basketball over the years. There are a lot of ways to describe how the Tamarao program has developed its players, has trained its players. Malamya is not one of them.
That's right. Very uncharacteristic of FEU so far here in this game. Not as aggressive as they usually are. So hopefully they can still adjust with 7 minutes left in the quarter.
Lee for 3. Overshot it. FEU trying to take advantage on the other end. Escoto will wind it back. Comboy over to Parker. Jasper, so Ebonia underneath, challenging Acomo, and That's not usually a good idea, especially if Steve has position. Check it on the McCree's instant replay. Good intention para dito kay Parker. Monya was open underneath.
Steve Acomo just changing that shot. So far here, no Prince or Rizu, so a lot smaller guy guarding Steve Acomo.
Coach Olsen will roll that dice. Acomo hasn't really hurt FEU here. 4 points in the afternoon. Passive so far. Lee for 3. That one too strong. And it is getting physical underneath. As Makasait will get whistled for a personal. The starters for UST. +6 against the FEU first 5. 38-33. 7-11. Here in the third.
Very slow third quarter so far. 3 minutes have gone by, but only 2 points each for either of the teams.
It's a grinded out type of game. And a lot of it is because of turnovers like that.
Unforced turnovers.
FEU throwing it away on an illegal screen.
Again, not the type of tempo that we expected coming into the game. A lot slower than the usual games that they're both accustomed to.
Take a look at attempts from the outside. 6 of 27 para sa USC. That's not great, but neither is 2 of 20. Then it's on to Parker behind his head to Comboy with a finish.
Nice 4-on-1 play there by Comboy.
C2 cool and clean fast break. FEU will take it. Here's Acomo over to Lee. He's missed on 2 triple attempts this quarter. Passed up on that one. Santa Ana shadowed by 2 guys. Here's Marvin. Throws up a wild one. That will not drop. Here's Comboy on the run to the other side. Oh, Wendell with a good looking reverse try. Can't get it to drop. And Ebonia in a crowd loses that one, but it will stay with FEU. As some color developing there. Marvin Lee trying to pick up.
Here's a nice 4-on-1 play.
What's the rule here? Yeah, especially the UAAP. You played at the UAAP women's level. You played with the national team. Some players and teams have a rule: if you fall down, don't let anybody else pick you up that's not a teammate. How often is that rule implemented, so to speak, among
I think it depends on the players. Well, I would pick them up. Minsan, pag medyo focus talaga sa game, you would then just let them be. Just focus on your role and try to win the game.
That was Marvin Lee extending a helping hand earlier, and Ebonia saying, no thanks, I'll wait for my teammates. Comboy, the jumper off the inbound, no go. Steve Acomo, perfect pass to the wrong guy. Jasper to Denison with a quick kiss off the glass as Denison benefiting off a PS bankable assist of the game. Send and receive payments ahora mismo with PS Bank Mobile.
FEU picking up the pace here. 4 straight fast break points for them, cutting the lead down to 1.
Here's Acomo underneath. Steve Acomo saying, feed me more. Chippy Twisters move. FEU on the attack. Here's off the spin. Oh, tough move para kay Denison. Threw it to an open Joe Trinidad who is on the bench in a warmer. But look at this. Without Prince Orizo inside, Bea, that's an option that's going to be there para sa UST.
And they have to be able to maximize and squeeze out all the points that they could get from Steve Acomo while Prince Orizo is still seated on the bench.
Acomo caught in no man's land. Over to Santa Ana. Jordan leads it for Makasait. 5 seconds to shoot. Marvin Lee, 3 seconds to shoot. Backs it up. Splits the double. Taken away. No, it lands with Makasait. That shot is valid, the referees say, but no. They're going to call it better late than never. It's a 24-second shot clock violation. UST up by 3 heading into this timeout.
Backsaw rebound, backsaw rebound. Tayong possession.
Okay. Guys, hindi natin kailangan mandaliin. Ha? Nakasona. Ha? Ikaw ba nang ilalim? Si Christian nasa labas. Ha? Okay. Marvin, Jordan, Marvin, Christian. Okay. Hindi, nakason. Oo lang. Wala lang kayong gagawin. Mabilis. Ha? Mabilis. Pagkat. Tingnan nyo ha, baka sakali. Okay ha. Now, pagbigay dito, tingnan mo Jordan, tingnan mo Christian. Kung nasaan si Steve. Sundutin natin. Now, pag nandito ka sa taas. Bon, tingnan mo, Steve. Look at Bon here. Ha? You can pass it here or you can pass it here. Marvin. Okay? Now, defense. Buha agad. Pick up na tayo sa tao natin.
Meet our PS Bankable Fan of the Game, brought to you by PS Bank Mobile. Sa PS Bank Mobile, one touch lang. Logged in na.
And Nico, I'd just like to point out from that last turnover by UST, the 24-shot clock violation, that's also credit to the defensive adjustment of FEU in the third quarter, employing a zone as compared to the man in the first half, clogging the paint, not allowing UST that free driving lane.
Parker over to Lee with a little bit of a shove, but leads to an Arvin Tolentino layup as Tolentino gets 2 points across his name. 6 on the afternoon para kay Arvin. Points in the paint so far this quarter. FEU more successful. That 8-4 now as Jordan Santa Ana able to get the bruise and a deuce on Milo Nutriup. Drive of the quarter.
And just as I mentioned, FEU allowing that free driving lane to the left side of Santa Ana for that end one shot, so they can't afford UST to be able to drive that easily because they really thrive around the paint and driving hard to the basket.
You know, man, there's a certain joy I can imagine that, you would have playing for Boy Sablan if you're the type of player like Santa Ana, like Reggie Boy Masibas, like Marvin Lee. Multiple opportunities at the top of the key to just penetrate and take your defender one-on-one.
That's right. A player's coach, Coach Boy Sablan, once he sees that advantage that you can drive or dribble your way out of your defender, he gives that freedom to his players.
Komboy tried to get into Denison. Medyo masikip. Komboy will try and save them. That will not drop in. And Akomo gets the rebound and keeps it high. Lee over to Garcia. One guy to beat. Denison with a good tap. And Ebonia catching up just in time to block that. 43-39. 4-point Growling Tiger advantage.
Faster-paced game that we've noticed here in the third quarter definitely picked up since the first half.
Still no Prince Orizu in this quarter as Coach Olsen opting to go small. It's worked for him. They've inched closer. Valentino with a pull down para sa FEU.
FEU trying to fool UST with switching up their defense from zone to man in each possession.
Denison. Over to Komboy, that's his shot. Corner three, in and out.
That would have been big.
Oh, Denison scraps his way to another try, but that one will drop out para dito kay Ron.
Speaking of the opportunities and the chances of FEU until now still not being able to convert with those easy shots.
Santa Ana over to Garcia, and that one will slip through the big man's hands. As Marvin Lee will get the rest, Oliver Guzman will check in para sa kanya. Denison will rest in place of Tuffin as Escoto and Escalambre also try to enter the ball game. So UST going really small around the Como. They got 3 guards out there, and Escalambre, De Guzman, Jordan Santa Ana. Here's Parker. Hands it off to Arvin. Parker open for 3, and that's cash. Great case, great 3 for Jasper. Brings FEU to within 1 again.
Arvin Tolentino sticking true to what he'll be able to contribute to FEU, opening up the floor and finding the open man in Parker.
FEU number 20.
Calambre with an open look. But before that, there's a foul on the play. Santa Ana once again getting into the teeth of the D. At the half, Coach Boy Sablan reminding his boys, calling on his Growling Tigers. This is a game they feel they should win. They're in a great position to win. But they played 20 fantastic minutes. They're trying to duplicate that as Nisin Yakisobrang move brought to us by Escalambre.
So far, Escalambre, the revelation for UST in this game, providing quality minutes.
Arvin got the first step, and the former Rookie of the Year brings FEU back to within one. Here's Santa Ana off the spin. Olive for three. Too strong, and Arvin with a big rebound. Here comes Comboy. And that's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul. We're going to whistle it on Escalambre. We're going to be able to take a look at this as Comboy was out in the open court. There's a lot of contact there. First, check out the McPhee's instant replay of Arvin Tolentino. Getting to the basket, getting to the rim before Acomo could even jump. And here's the play.
Comboy not going for the ball, instead pushing him back. Clearly an unsportsmanlike foul.
That's a shoulder check. That is as easy as call as it gets. This is what could be a very big break para dito sa FEU. Comboy is going to get a pair of free throws here in possession.
Could definitely be a momentum changer, but buckling up on that free throw attempt possibly tie the game.
FEU has not led this game since 6-4. It has been UST in charge. This is only the third deadlock of this ball game. The last one came at 6 apiece. And for all that chasing and huffing and puffing that UST has been able to do, and UST being able to keep within a couple of steps ahead, nakahabol na ng lubusan itong FEU. Tying this game, Jasper flips that one a little too strong. Guzman to Escalambre to redeem himself. That one off to the right. Another chance for FEU to take the lead. Here's Jasper to the basket. Oh, another miss layup para dito kay Parker. Olive on the other end. Stops, leaves it for Santa Ana. And Santa Ana with a bruise and a deuce. A three-point play opportunity. And Milo Nutriup, galing move with a quarter.
The great thing about Santa Ana is his size. He can muscle his way through. That's exactly what he did. Another end one basket.
They're using the most of that position, absorbing the contact, has been the guy for UST. Handled that leather foot, has been pretty much their main playmaker at that forward spot. Axel over to Tuffin for three. We're tied again.
Perfect execution for FEU with their drive and kick offense.
Guzman over to Santa Ana. Santa Ana blocked by Tuffin. Escalambre for three. That will not go. Offensive rebound, GP Faundo. Can't get the lay-in to go. And Axel will come away with it.
Chance for FEU to finally take the lead in this possession.
Inside of a minute left. Arvin. Oh, put him on skates. Tolentino almost completed the highlight, but Conan had no business trying to stay on the ball there against Tolentino. Arvin got the first step and no choice para kay Conan but to give up the foul.
FEU definitely more deliberate in this game. Once they see an open lane, a chance for a fast break, they really push the ball, and that's really been the story of the third quarter, which is why they're now tied with UST at 48.
8 points in the afternoon para kay Arvin. 7 rebounds as well. He's 3 of 7 from the floor. That 9 points already for a former Rookie of the Year.
Picking up from where he left off in the last game versus Ateneo with 11 points and 3 rebounds. Great game so far for Arvin.
This is on the second. And FEU, they've done enough to take the lead. Trailed by as much as 12 in this ball game. Now they have a 1-point advantage. Escalambre shied away from the three. Santa Ana to the cup, no go. Axel will set the table for FEU. And Olsen wants this shot clock to be drained before they try anything. This RJ Ramirez against Jordan Santa Ana. They give him the green light to go. Ramirez inside, had that one tapped away. It will stay with them with 2 seconds left on the 24. 6.3 on the game clock. Axel over to Arvid. Can he get it off in time? Doesn't matter as Kaunan able to redeem himself there. This time stopping the Tolentino try.
Great defensive stop there by UST. Last chance for them to take the lead here in the third.
Here's Santa Ana. Gets to a decent spot, throws it up. Ooh, almost goes in. But FEU, after trailing by as much as 12 as we mentioned, will take a 1-point advantage into the fourth quarter as they have caught up with UST 49-48. The final 10 when we return here on SNA.
Hey, now, listen. Stay for 3. You see that? What? Number 1. 3 tayo, di ba? Tapat-tapat tayo. We are in a zone. Okay, pero once your man gets the ball here, no penetration. You stay with him. Okay, now, just in case, na penetration ng ganon, do not bluff like what you did earlier. Because we're in a zone, so this guy can rotate here. Now you can come back here. Diba? Clear? Now, hey, open. We're getting shots. Finally, our shots are going in. Told you. Diba? Just keep on making good decisions. Multiple attacks. Pag wala yung una, for sure, if we attack, we'll get open shots on the other end. Hey, and then I like the way you're attacking the boards on the rebound. Tuloy natin yan. Hey, so, same rules. On a made, 3. On a miss, 1. Clear. Alright?
Hey, their best defense in the first 2 possessions.
Atin mo. So this guy can rotate here. Now you can come back here. Diba? Clear? Now, hey, open. We're getting shots. Finally, our shots are going in. Told you. Diba? Just keep on making good decisions. Multiple attacks. Pag wala yung una, for sure, if we attack, we'll get open shots on the other end. Hey, and then I like the way you're...
Leo coaches winning ways. Yeah, you mentioned earlier that FEU is getting good looks. Di lang talaga nahuhulog. And Coach also there saying, well, this is what I told you guys. If you keep making good decisions, the shots will eventually fall. Has that been the case, which has led to FEU now taking the lead?
That's right. They've been patient in the third quarter, more deliberate. They outscored UST 18-12 and were able to convert with their fast break points 5-0, which is why they're now having a 1-point lead to enter the fourth quarter.
Well, Ramirez with a slip, but kept his dribble alive, and Escalambre with a little bit of a kick. That shot clock will reset to 14.
And FEU being able to do that, Nico, without Prince Arizu on the floor.
No Prince in the entire third period. They're still going to start the fourth without it. Tolentino lines up a triple. That's money. What a game for Arvin Tolentino.
12 points already across his name. Definitely being the marked big man for FEU.
Guzman goes high. Kaunan gonna be whistled for a travel. This is where UST gets tested. In control of this ball game up until the last few minutes in the third. Now trailing by 4. Arvin, heat check, cash money. Arvin Tolentino with a Haynes cool play.
Arvin Tolentino sticking true to what he told me earlier in this game. He wants to become that leader for FEU. So far, that's really what he's been able to do.
Arvin, out to Olive. De Guzman will line up a triple. That won't drop. Rebound goes to guess who? Arvin Tolentino. What a second half he's had para sa FEU. Ramirez drives strong, and Ramirez gets called for the offensive foul. Oh, a good-looking move for RJ. A little too good-looking. Watch Tuffet. Attract attention. Now Arvin with a triple. That's too much space, Bea, for a shooter like that.
That's right. The great thing about Arvin Tolentino, he can shoot from the outside and also penetrate the basket. But talking about UST, their game has definitely slowed down in the second half.
Acomo back on the floor para sa Growling Tigers. They're down 7. Seems like it was a blink of an eye. Another turnover for UST. Another takeaway para kay Tolentino. Muffin, over to Axel. Inigo gets away, little floater up and through para kay Axel Inigo. A roar from their head coach after their missing yakisobrang move. And Coach Boy Sablan will whistle for time. That's a look of a head coach that has lost his lead. That's a look of a head coach that is winless and is going to go up against Ateneo and De La Salle next.
Nico, napakabigat.
Oh, and off a timeout. It's a turnover for UST. Axel to Tuffet. Tuffet hesitated, lined it up a little too strong. Maybe should have shot that one right away. UST needs a basket here, and they need it badly. Guzman over to Lee. They go to GP. GP will try to back down Arvin. Gets physical in there. That's a good move by GP Faudo. In the second half, they have gave us a picture of how good Arvin Tolentino has been.
Arvin Tolentino with 11 big points already out of his 15 in the second half as compared to the 12 for the whole team of UST. So UST really slowing down in the second half. On the other hand, for FEU, pressing on the gas pedal when needed the most now with a big 9-point lead with 7 minutes left to do.
Well, let's see how they've addressed this run against them. Tony Moreno has more for us. Tony, go ahead.
Nico, losing their grip on the lead, the Growling Tigers are pushing each other to keep the ball moving. And as Coach Boy reminded the team earlier, wag panoorin lang na mag 3-pointers ang FEU and go hard to the basket. All hope isn't lost, however, as the team captain Marvin Lee told the Tigers na fourth quarter na, ibigay natin lahat, atin to. Nico?
Thanks a lot, Tony. We're looking up at a 9-point hill. Still a lot of time left. Inigo, this is FEU's second try, and that is going to be an offensive foul on Axel.
Moving screen there by Axel Inigo.
That's a tricky play off the handoff like that, especially if you're a guard. You don't set a lot of screens too often.
That's right. Usually it should be Arvin Tolentino giving up the screen for Axel, but it's the other way around in that play.
Guzman, Lee, Wasibas, Faundo, and Acomo, the 5 para sa UST.
Still scoreless for UST in this quarter. Much needed basket.
Faundo, spinning, missing. FEU on the run. Denison, great look ahead to Ramirez. Touchdown, FEU. Milo Nutriap drive of the quarter for the Tamaraws.
And Nico, FEU now riding on a 10-0 run for the fourth quarter.
Guzman. Over to Lee. Ball's been going side to side para dito sa UST. Ramirez, another chance for FEU to run. Axel gets the first step. Inigo gets another touchdown for the Tamaraws. And just like that, after a Vivo perfect shot, the game they had pretty much in hand is now a game that they're trailing by 13. UST will call for time. To 61 as UST had this one slip away from them. Talking about the lead, FEU will take on NU, UB, and Adamson next. Again, the heavy load of the schedule already behind them after having already played Ateneo and LaSalle.
Talking about UST, Nico, ito talaga ang naging sakit nila so far in this season, controlling most part of the game, but come fourth quarter, dito sila tumitiklop, and that's exactly what has been happening the past 4 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Well, it's a 13-point deficit. Marvin Lee trying to cut it to 10, leaves that one short. GP will miss a gimme. Acomo trying to fight for it. Ball is still live. Denison gets it over to Escoto. Here comes Ramirez, back out to Richard, and Escoto with a cleanup. Down 15 with 6 minutes left after that Milo Nutriap galing move of the quarter. All is not lost. It's not desperation time yet here for UST. Faundo finally breaks the drought for the Growling Tigers as they get a field goal to go.
Their first field goal of the quarter, much needed basket. Hopefully it will spark a mini run for UST.
13, hinahabol ng UST. Denison gets to his spot, and it's just getting easier and easier for FEU to get to those places where they can score. Let's go to Sydney Crespo from FEU. Sydney, go ahead.
Nico and Bea, I mentioned earlier that the Tamaraws were having a hard time in getting offensive rebounds. But in the second half, Coach Olsen said that Arvin Tolentino and Richard Escoto were doing a great job in rebounding and attacking the boards. He said that our shots are finally getting in, and I like that the guards are also helping in doing rebounds. Now Coach Olsen wants the boys to keep the energy and effort in the final minutes of the game. Nico and Bea.
Thanks a lot, Sydney. 5:15 left in the fourth period. It's not so much as they started to offensive rebound better. It's just that there weren't any misses to rebound offensively.
That's right, and they really spaced the floor well, allowing Tolentino to hit down those three-point shots. And at the same time, once they get that opportunity to run, they did exactly that, scoring 9 fast break points already so far in the second half as compared to 0 for UST.
Santa Ana will miss that one. 14-point Hill. Axel gets the first step on Basibas, leaves it for Ebonia, and Ebonia scores against 2. Oh, what an impressive drop-off. A Yamaha big move. Where does UST find offense? Lee over to Santa Ana. Gordon tries to drop it off to GP, and Faundo will have that one stripped away. It's going to be a foul on Ebonia.
UST really finding trouble trying to break the zone defense of FEU so far.
Manulife 110% heart and hustle play. That led to a fast break as players dove to the floor.
Here in the fourth quarter, GP Faundo, the only bright spot, contributing to the points, the 3 points that UST has scored here in the final quarter.
You know, Bea, in that first game, it was a Marvin Lee first half explosion against UP. That second outing para dito sa UST, it was more of a revelation for Jordan Santa Ana and then Reggie Pasibas in that last game. But in this one, no Growling Tiger in double figures so far. Well, except for Faundo, who's got 10. And he just got there.
That's right. Nobody really trying to gain that scoring responsibility for UST as we see that nice drive by Wendell Comboy.
Comboy got away. Escoto's coming down on the floor with a limp here. Coach Olsen taps on Prince Orizu. Escoto could not keep up with Faundo with a spin and a chippy twister's move. And finally, Escoto drops down, grabs that left ankle. 3:59 left here in the fourth period. 14 hinahabol ng UST.
Prince Orizu finally checking into the game. 4 minutes left. His first appearance in the second half.
We want to remind you guys, though, as we see Escoto limp to the bench. Hopefully he's okay. The Flash is back. Benito Donati Jr., also known as the Filipino Flash, set to face young gun from Mexico, Ruben Garcia Hernandez, for the vacant WBC silver featherweight title. It will be an all-out war for Donati as he is set to prove himself once again. Catch the action from San Antonio, Texas. This Sunday, September 24, live on pay-per-view on Sky Cable starting 8 a.m. and on Free TV and on SNA at 7 p.m. Cracks starting to show on that UST defense. That's what they have to lock down on. That's what they have to try and cover up as you take a look at the Escoto ankle. I think this is where he twisted it early on, trying to stop GP Faundo. There's a spin. By that time, umiika na itong si Escoto before that play. Lee takes a shot to the mouth. Ball is still live. Parker for 3. That one will drop through as Jasper Parker hits a huge one.
FEU getting lucky already. Everything going their way in the second half with a big 17-point lead already.
As Olsen promises to his squad, just keep shooting the same shots. They'll eventually go in. Faundo, the hook won't drop. They're going to call a goaltend. 8 points for Jasper Parker in the afternoon.
And Nico, going back to our two key pointers for FEU to be able to win this game, according to Coach O, first to contain their fast break points. That's exactly what they've been able to do so far.
Parker dribbles into a crowd. Parker gets rid of it, over to Denison with a fake. Denison can't get the short little bank shot to go. Lee pushes ahead. UST's got a rush. Masibas jumps into Tolentino. No call. Here comes Denison. One guy to beat. Ron will take 2 free throws as Marvin Lee picks up the personal. Point advantage para dito sa FEU, and we talked about relentlessness, we talked about resiliency para dito sa UST. That's definitely something that they're looking for here in this fourth period.
So far, the exact opposite is what they've been showing. They've been having a hard time driving hard to the basket, and that's exactly where they flourish. Without that, they don't have a reliable outside shooter, and that's really been the problem for UST in this game.
How much of it there is also maybe a little case of predictability from UST? You know, we mentioned earlier that they love and they keep going to having guys break down their defenders off the dribble from top of the key, and having guys like Santa Ana and Basibas make something happen off of that. You know, eventually when FEU made the adjustments, UST had to go to a more traditional half-court set. Mas nahirapan humanap ng puntos ni FEU as you take a look at how Richard Escoto sprained his ankle earlier in the game.
Looking here at UST, that's right, in the first 3 games that they had, they flourished on the break, on transition, and Coach O was able to point that out at the start of the game, just stop their transition baskets, just stop their attacking, and they'll be able to contain UST. And so far, they've been doing a great job in the second half.
Santa Ana gives it up. Lee had that one taken away by Arvin Tolentino.
And again, that zone defense of FEU posing many problems for UST.
Oh boy, can't get that one to drop. And that zone has been there even when UST had the lead, FEU had the zone, and they stuck with it, Bea. They did not panic, they did not really change up their defense. Check out the McFreeze instant replay. It's as if Coach Olsen said, I know you don't have shooters, so I'm going to challenge you to shoot. And kahit na nung kanina, Escalabre was hurting them from the outside, FEU held to their guns, and now the zone is working. Why is that?
I think they were very patient with their zone defense. At the start, they were allowing drives by Santa Ana, easy drives, but eventually they were able to adjust and really clog the paint, and it's been paying dividends for FEU.
Undo, the only Growling Tiger in double figures.
This is something that UST will have to improve on in the coming games. It will be easy for the other teams to check this UST Growling Tigers if all they can do is drive hard to the paint, and if they allow them to just shoot from the outside, it will be causing a lot of problems for them.
Marvin Lee in that last outing was not the most productive of afternoons for him. As we mentioned, only 4 points last time. He's only 1 of 8 in this game as Denison gets another quick banker to go. Only 3 points in the afternoon para kay Marvin Lee. Inside the final 120 of the ballgame, PS Bank last 2 minutes brought to you by PS Bank Mobile. May Pay Me, Touch ID, and in-app OTP. Santa Ana gets 2, and that's the second Growling Tiger in double figures. Wang will drive strong, and Zach will fall over, and that will be a foul on Denison.
Right now, FEU definitely in control of this game, but looking ahead and their next game, this is definitely a good confidence booster for them. They're done with the top-tier teams, Ateneo and LaSalle. Now it's all about getting those wins so that they can improve their standing in season 18.
And Denison will head back to the bench. We'll see first-time action from Alex Stockton, number 2. His second name is June, as in the month.
Oh.
Can we all agree to call him June Stockton? Can we all just unanimously agree? Unless he protests to it, of course. I respect his wishes, but his mother chose to name him June as a second name. And I'm choosing for him until he says no. From this point forward, call him June Stockton.
Again, Nico, June Stockton.
Hintayin ko siyang tumalon. That's my last joke of the day. Stockton gets it over to Nunag for 3. That will not drop, and here comes UST on the run. They're down by 13 with a minute and 22 left. And, you know, it's easy for us, obviously, to look back and identify, but there was a point in this ball game where UST was still very much in control, and even when they lost that lead, you know, things still seem to be pretty competitive, and that win still seemed available to them. But at what point did FEU really break this game open?
I think yung sakit nga talaga ng UST is the fourth quarter, and time again in this game, fourth straight game, they had a 10-0 run to start the fourth, and that's really where they blew out the game.
And June Stockton gets a layup to go off of a Mitsubishi. Great play, had the crossover. Wilson gave him the ISO, and Stockton gets the bucket. Santa Ana, that's going to be a travel on him.
10th travel for the game.
Those back-to-back three-pointers by Tolentino, obviously, maybe that could have spelled the ball game para dito sa UST.
That's right, picking up from where he left off with that 11-point conversion against Ateneo in the fourth quarter. Still streaking hot in this game. He definitely was able to raise the bar high for FEU.
Kid, fresh from the bench. Gets a fake, gets it over to Stockton. Over to Parker. June for 3. That's ringless, but not the good kind. UST will drop their 4th straight games in as many outings. A lot of it really the struggles in the second half.
Here we see FEU.
Check out the McFreeze instant replay on that last play. Go ahead, Bear.
FEU scored 29 fourth quarter points as compared to the 27 second half points of UST. So really from the start of the third quarter, pababa na yung naging laro ng UST.
As we mentioned, the schedule only gets tougher for them. Ateneo and LaSalle still on deck. FEU will rise up to 2-2. So will tie third placers NU and UP at 2 wins. Seconds away, as you know, Coach Olsen, after this team went down 1-2, said there's no reason to press the panic button. Says that they're fine and they're okay, and even when they were down double digits in this one, they stuck to their guns and they come away victorious as FEU makes it official. They take the victory over the now still winless UST Growling Tigers. We'll take a break and wrap it up after this.